happens when you reach your target net worth, only to discover that the numbers were the only thing that climbed, while your true self remains trapped at the bottom? We treat numbers as the sole metric of victory and monitor the charts without ever asking, what is being deducted in return from our human and intellectual capital? Financial growth without intellectual maturity is fragile inflation, like a towering skyscraper built on paper foundations that cannot withstand the first tremor. The real trap is believing that doubling your revenue will solve your problems, only to realize you are merely recreating the exact same fears, just with a larger budget. When money becomes an isolated end, your human bonds silently erode, leaving you stranded alone atop a cold summit of your own making. A larger bank account cannot fix internal chaos. Money does not reshape who you are, it merely magnifies everything you already were. The illusion of the magic number makes you believe that the first million will grant you peace, while your mind constantly pushes the finish line of an endless race. When you reduce your worth to your revenue, every market fluctuation becomes a direct threat to your stability, because you have mortgaged your existence to a volatile external indicator. The collapse happens gradually from within under the weight of continuous stress, while the outer facade remains polished and composed for everyone to see. At the very first test, the brittle mask crumbles. Wealth without awareness and psychological resilience is nothing more than a fragile shell that shatters at the first shock. In the adaptation loop, your brain rapidly habituates to new income, resetting your sense of satisfaction back to zero unless your progress is anchored to a purpose of real depth and meaning. You have two choices: keep chasing escalating numbers as a temporary sedative, or pause to redefine success as an ecosystem where your inner self grows first. True success begins at intellectual roots, not accumulated numbers. Without a conscious mindset, abundance becomes a burden that weighs heavily on you. Money provides external leverage, not internal discipline. If you cannot govern your desires, your profits will become the fuel that feeds your personal chaos. Balanced growth means your financial figures rise side by side with your maturity, health, and relationships, forming an integrated architecture where each part reinforces the rest. Wealth is not measured by balances, but by ownership of your time and mental presence. Money is a tool to buy your freedom, not to forge gilded chains. Relentless sprinting is not progress. When your day lacks moments of stillness and reflection, your activity becomes nothing more than rapid spinning in a vicious cycle. Conscious growth demands the courage to prune, trimming away tangled excess to protect the white space that grants your mind clarity and creative power. True resilience lies in having a structure that absorbs shocks. Fragile wealth shatters quickly, while a grounded mind bends only to return stronger. Transactional relationships evaporate as profits decline. True capital resides in authentic human bonds that market fluctuations cannot sever. When you move past selfish hoarding, money transforms from an isolated fortress into a bridge that opens horizons for others and leaves an enduring legacy. Chasing applause is an insatiable addiction. Serenity begins when you stop begging for validation from others and draw your worth from internal alignment. Deep-rooted growth is the patient accumulation of precise daily decisions. Step by step, a fortified character is built to endure long after sudden booms fade. Ego is the first crack in the edifice of success. The more inflated the self becomes, the less its walls can withstand the first unexpected shift. Great ventures are measured by the profound impact they leave for decades. When you look beyond immediate profit, your vision expands and your work begins to breathe. When your core principles align with your daily decisions, internal conflict dissolves, and your work turns from a draining burden into an authentic expression of your identity. Victory is not about dominating markets, but about freeing yourself from the tyranny of money, wielding it as a building tool that does not define your worth as a human being. When your foundations are fully integrated, the tension between financial ambition and inner peace dissolves, turning your venture into an extension of your maturity and a mirror of your psychological stability. Only then will you stand atop the summit again, not as an empty shell terrified of falling, but as a complete human being who built their stature stone by stone. The greatest tragedy is not failing to build your empire, but succeeding only to discover that you forgot to build the person who will live inside it.